Hello everyone. So once again I am here with you all. In this video we are going to discuss the last content of the chapter from class 7, that is called as year. So in my previous video you might have seen that we have discussed about the various aspects of year and some elements of the weather and the climates. These elements we have taken as what? The temperature, air pressure and the wind. So among these three elements which chapter talks about, we have discussed the two elements in the previous video, that is the temperature and the wind. In this video we will try temperature and the air pressure. In this video we will try to understand how wind is one of the important element and that regulate the weather or the climate of any place. Let us try to understand in this way. What is a wind? Then we have already discussed, or we can understand wind as what? The horizontal movement of the air from one place to another place, that is called as wind. Do you know the wind also play a very important role to regulate the weathering or the climatic conditions of any place. These wind are broadly divided into three types. These are permanent wind, seasonal wind and local wind. So let us try to understand all these three different type of winds which regulate the weather or the climate of any area. Let us take the first one, that is permanent wind. What are permanent wind? These permanent wind are also called as the trade winds. These winds generally blows only in one direction throughout the year. That's why this is either called as a westerly wind or easterly wind. So the movement of this wind in a particular direction throughout the year regulate the weather and the climate of that particular place. Okay, so this is how the wind is also one of the important aspect or important element which regulate the weather. Now let us see another, that is a seasonal wind. So the seasonal winds, why they are called as seasonal winds or how seasonal winds affect the weather, let us try to understand. You see, the India is a land which is having a different pattern of seasons. Not only India, all over the country or all over the world, the seasons are classified into different patterns. Yes or no? So like the same, we also have a different seasons. So some wind which blow from one direction to another direction in one particular season again change their direction to another particular season. Let me take an example. You see, as I have told you earlier, that often wind blows from sea to land, again land to sea. Why? As in the change of the season, with the change of the season, this wind also changed their direction and they started to blow in a reversal nature. Okay, as you see, during winter the wind started to blow from sea to land. As in the case of summer, the same wind started to blow from land to sea. Let's example the monsoon wind, which is quite a reversal in its movement along with the change of the season. So such a wind are called as what? Seasonal wind, and these seasonal winds are very important. These are very crucial in regulating the weather or climate of any particular place. Okay, now let us try to understand the local wind. Local wind are such wind which basically blows in a particular period of a day or particular year. This wind, let us take the example in this way. You might have heard about the western disturbance, or you might have heard about the Loo. Loo is the best example of what? Local wind, which originate in a particular place on a particular day of the year. So such movement of the wind in the particular year or day of the year affect the weather or the climate of that place. So such winds are called as what? Local winds. Now do you understand the permanent wind, the seasonal wind and the local wind, all the winds play very important role in regulating the weather or the climatic condition of any area. Along with that, we could not ignore the moisture, which is the another important element of the weather and temperature. Let us see how moisture regulate the weather and the climate. So finally, the moisture. What is the moisture? The moisture means the presence of humidity in the air. Now you see, when the amount of moisture we find more in any atmospheric conditions, the weatheric or the climatic conditions of that place will be very different. Okay, it means when sun rays are falling on the earth, the presence of humidity make that its insolation quite less amount. The amount of insolation that decreases if the presence of moisture is there. It means it maintained the sun heat or sunlight heat and make that place quite pleasant in the nature. So those places where we find the low availability of low pressure or moisture, and those places where we find the availability of moisture is more, then ultimately there will be a different kind of weather or the climatic conditions prevails. So the impact of moisture, that means the presence of humidity in the air cannot be ignored. These are the most important aspect. So in this chapter, which discuss about the various aspects of the air, we conclude with this particular point, that is called the weather, climate and its different elements. I hope that after going through this video, if you listen it carefully and after that if you read the text up to maximum portion of the chapter will be clear to you. Okay, so this is what in the overall chapter of class 7, that is called air, we have discussed. So let us review it quickly. We begin the chapter with the note, what is a air. After that, discussing about the air, we move to the different structure of the air. In the different structures of the air, we have discussed about what? The troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Right? After discussing the structure of this air, we have again discussed the composition of the atmosphere, what are the composition of the atmosphere, and finally in the last we have discussed about the weather and the climate. So this is all these things we have discussed from the chapter in the 4 different videos. So this is the last video of the chapter. I just want to tell you, keep on learning and keep yourself updated with the social science facts and figures. But most important, at this standard, that is in class 7, the text reading is very important. This video will help you to understand the concept, and once you will read the text, you will be fully clear. Till then, I will meet you very soon with another video of the chapter. Till then, take care of yourself very well and keep on learning. Bye.